again. Host Eric, host Talking with Most People. And welcome to second morning. First morning was called Babies, Dogs, Rocks, and Logs. I see that whatever benefit I was briefly receiving from live streaming vertically is gone. Why, Eric? You might say, well, I just see it in the numbers. You know, like maybe I get 50 to 100 views per live stream, which is what I used to get, you know. If I wanted to grow subs, I'd need to make more shorts instead. So I got up this morning, or the second morning here, and noticed I received a text message saying, Taylor's talking serious shit about you right now on Flow State. I replied to the message saying, good for him. I don't know what he was talking about, but the one thing we can know for sure is that he wasn't talking any intellectual shit, because I think everybody knows I whip everybody's ass in that department. It's not like he was talking cognitive functions or philosophy or something. Couldn't possibly have been talking shit about that, because every sane person in the universe knows that I win every single one of those conversations without even trying. So, if you want to talk shit about me personally, that's fine, I don't care. Who knows what he was saying? Just some random number I get texting me. Flow State is talking serious shit about you right now. Okay. I'm not that fragile, you know. So someone's talking shit about me. I mean, I've been known to talk a lot of shit about Taylor, too. After all, he was so wrong about COVID. He got himself censored by YouTube. But, whatever. You know, I don't know if that's called talking shit or not. Regardless, if you're somebody who's texting me and wants to get me all riled up about something, you're gonna have to be a lot more specific than that. Talking shit is just talking shit, you know. So if anybody does know what he was talking shit about and wants to chime in as the answer, that'd be fine. But even if I knew, I'd probably just... the answer would either be, well, he's wrong. Either that or he's misrepresenting me in some fashion, or he's right, in which case I don't like to stay wrong. Did I say irregularities? No. I did not say the word irregularities. But I am a little irregular right now, in the sense that I feel as though I got another poop in me that isn't coming out. Irregularity is a word. Yes, it is. This batch of product we just manufactured must be thrown away due to irregularities. Ooh, what's not a word is I think I know what you're talking about, though. It's can't remember at the moment. But there is a word that's like that. That's not a word that people. Irregardless. That's what you meant. Yes. So thank you. You remembered the word that's. It's not a word. No, I didn't. I did not say irregardless. I never say irregardless. I do say regardless. I might sometimes say irregularity, but you'll never catch me saying irregardless. I'm glad you remembered what it was, because I couldn't remember what it was. That's good. I'm coming outside right now to roll up the window of my car because we're due for some rain. But really, I'm here to get another pack of cigarettes out of the car. Oh, it's cold today. It is cold, deadly cold, let me tell you. It's the kind of day where if you're going to go outside and smoke a cigarette, you got to put on not just a jacket, but also a hat. That's how cold it is. Well, the dictionary is. It purports to be an accounting of how people use words, not a law book on how words should be used. So that's why they put stuff in there like two definitions for the word literally. One of which is literally, and the other of which is figuratively. It's kind of like prescription drugs that have one of the side effects be constipation and the other one be diarrhea. So at least Michelle Way's here. That's one bit of satisfaction I can take in the universe. I am curious as to what shit Taylor was talking, but not curious enough to watch his video and look for it. So I'm here. I'd be happy to hear. I'm curious about what's said if somebody else knows, you know. Of course, Taylor has put a title on one of his videos called like host Eric, narcissistic, toxic meow or something like that. Which is of course completely nonsense. But that's just fourth slut and I running amok. There's nothing narcissistic or toxic about me at all. You can critique me in lots of ways, but that's not one of them. I'm way too soft and sensitive to be toxic like that. You could call me judgmental, but I hold myself to the same standards I hold everybody else to. I don't always meet things like not everybody else always meets them. Let's see. Yes. It's just me by myself. Pontificating to no one about nothing. Well, I was kind of hopeful that maybe this would start me doing a couple of chores. But now I may not be really feeling the chores. Especially since I have nobody in attendance in the live stream. It's hard to gain a status buff on chore doing from observation without any observers. Status buff. You know, buffs and debuffs in video games, you know. Let's see what this says. No, I'm here. Greetings from Germany. Well, hello, Germany. How are you? Guten Morgen. That's how you speak German. Say nein. So, I'm currently watching the squirrels. May not be the most useful use of time imaginable. But while I'm waiting for somebody who actually watched the flow state video to tell me what he was talking shit about, I guess I'm stuck looking at squirrels. The person just texted me back after I texted him. Good for him. Now I want to text the person and say, okay, join the live stream and tell me what he said. I'm pretty sure that's Narmi. Narmi's this previously baby squirrel who was brown. When they're babies, they're brown. But that squirrel's so small. I think it's Narmi, but he's turned gray finally. Anyway, I worry a little bit about Narmi because he's just a young adult with not a fully furred out tail yet, and winter's coming fast. So I'm glad I got more woodland cutlets from the store yesterday. He can eat his fill of woodland cutlets. And hopefully the fats in the sunflower seeds will help keep him warm at night. That's what I'm hoping. There's no squirrels to watch there, huh? I'm sorry to hear that. This squirrel, if I'm correct about which squirrel it is my favorite squirrel. Now, I'm not especially good, I will admit, at telling squirrels apart. So, the problem is, most squirrels don't have particularly distinctive markings on them to separate them from other squirrels, including this squirrel here. But I can tell by the size that he's definitely a young squirrel. And we only seem to have like one baby squirrel born out of season this fall. So I'm guessing that's got to be Narmi. I'm not sure what squirrel mating habits are like. I could read up on it, but I'm just not sure I care that much. All right, let me get back inside. I may be disconnecting from this momentarily to text back this person and say, well, come tell me about it on the live stream. There, we've reconnected. There's got filters I could use. Do you like this filter better? Ooh, yeah, it's a filter on me. Shining lights everywhere for you to see. Ooh, yeah. Do you like that filter? How about this one? Mother died on a Tuesday. Your father rescued a baby squirrel after a hurricane. Well, good for your father. Was he paranormal like me? Now it looks like instead of having few teeth, I just had these teeth missing. Did you know you could do this? I didn't even know you could do this until today. Blush. This is why I've added a little rouge to my cheeks. How do you make those filters go away though? I don't know how to make them go away. Well, it doesn't really matter. They can stay up there if they want. I can read the chat from the screen if anybody has anything to say. So I texted that person who texted me saying Taylor was talking shit to come to the live stream and tell me about it. Will they actually come to the live stream and tell me about it? I don't know. Let's see what he says. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back again. I gotta see this text. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't drug Rachel at all. Obviously. Rachel does just fine drugging herself. He wants to say I'm a train wreck. How am I a train wreck? I mean, just saying words that don't link to anything real isn't meaningful. I may be a bit of a train wreck, I suppose. In what regard? I don't know. I mean, Taylor's got a problem that I don't have. He has to play captain of a ship of fools to come up with content, right? I just live stream and come up with as much content as I want all the time with no effort whatsoever. In my opinion, his approach to YouTube is a train wreck because he's just inviting morons to voice their idiotic opinions. I don't understand why that's a good thing to do. But you don't hear me talking shit about him about it. You know, good for him. I'm happy he's succeeding at YouTube. He may consider me a train wreck, but I still consider him a friend. And regarding the Rachel thing, people have attempted to make this ridiculous claim before that somehow I'm taking advantage of, abusing, or otherwise controlling Rachel. I have to be the least controlling person in the world. In no way, shape, or form am I drugging Rachel, controlling her, or doing anything other than empowering her to be who she wants to be when she wants to be it. So I don't worry too much about such claims because they aren't grounded in any kind of reality. It's indicative of some sort of problem with Taylor, perhaps, that he feels the need to chime in on my extremely happy relationship. But yeah, I don't drug Rachel. Rachel is on drugs because she has actual bipolar mania. And if Taylor were to witness that, of her going completely batshit crazy after not sleeping for like over a week, well, maybe he'd have a little bit more understanding about why she's on psych drugs. Did I find her the psychiatrist and pay for the psychiatrist that put her bipolar mania in remission? Yes. Do I feel at all bad about that? No. I feel spectacularly good about that. After 10 years of being missed and poorly treated by a horrible clinic, I don't think it's a big deal either, Michelle. You know, Taylor's been horribly wrong about things before. I mean, with those two things, like calling me a train wreck, that's just name calling. It doesn't matter at all. Saying I'm drugging Rachel, that's just factually false. Is Rachel on drugs? Yes, but that's a good thing. Am I underachieving given my potential and position in life? Yeah. But you know what? I have a feeling that that'll pass over time. You know, uh, it's been a it's been a ontologically disruptive 16 months or so. A lot of big changes in my life. It's understandable that it's taken a while to feel like I've come back more to myself prior to all the nonsense that went down. But the idea that anybody would judge my relationship, they have got to be either projecting or displacing or something, because I've got an ideal relationship. Rachel and I truly love each other. And the idea that I would control, take advantage of, I mean, you really don't get who I am if you think I'm drugging Rachel and controlling her. It's ridiculous. Of course, this is all hearsay. It's the guy who's chatting me from on my, who's texting me on my text messages. Who's saying this stuff? I didn't hear Taylor say it himself, so who even knows how accurate it is? But you know, there are a lot of people who want to take me down a notch. Just about everybody. Others look at the mirage or illusory pair and think either I want that or it must be fake. Well, they can want their own version of that. That's fine. That's understandable. It must be fake. I mean, if you've been paying attention at all to talking with famous people over the course of the last 4 years, you've seen a man and a woman stick together beautifully through some of the most challenging shit a couple could ever possibly face. You've seen us be loving and good to each other during incredibly challenging times, like Rachel going batshit crazy, through a difficult arrangement, Rachel living with me in my dad's house, through shocking events like the suicide of my dad, through moving to a new location, etc. And the idea that Rachel's somehow not empowered is ridiculous. She actually picked where we lived more than anybody else did. And why do we get this house more than any other? One of the strongest arguments the realtor ever made for me was Rachel really loves that house. And I said, okay, well, let's really try to get it then, you know. So I've done everything I can to be the best relationship partner I can for her. Even her mother, and I do not get along very well with her mother in general, said to me at the wedding, Thank you for giving Rachel everything she deserves. Which was shocking to me that her mother would say that to me. But, my relationship, I'm with a soulmate, is there's no legitimate critique of my relationship that people can make. You can critique me about a lot of things in life. I've made plenty of mistakes, but very few in this relationship. It's about as clean a slate as far as hurting each other as a person can hope to have. There. This is what my relationship's like. It's like a bubbles machine. Rachel would put up with what situation? Being with me and my dad at my dad's house? I mean, the thing is, you got to remember how bad her situation was before, right? She was being abused, gaslit, dehumanized in her parents' home, and had been for better part of a decade. Um, she was being treated for cannabis addiction of all things. So, yeah, well, she's not dumb. It was better than living at her parents' house. Besides which, most significantly, if you're an FI type, she and I actually love each other. We were smitten with each other. I believe that she loves me too. I don't think she's just faking it. I'm sure she could just fake it and get away with it, but I don't think she is. I believe she really loves me. But if she is just faking it, as long as she keeps faking it this well, I guess it doesn't really make any difference. I really love her. Well, look, Jeremiah Fix, what happened there was her mother and this horrible Mercy Medical Center colluded to turn Rachel into an insurance cash cow and a permanent patient needing ongoing therapy, even though bipolar mania is not the sort of thing you get therapy for. It's the sort of thing you get fixed with drugs. Where'd the bubbles come from? This is my butt right now. I'm really gassy. And I ate a lot of soap. So I'm sorry if it bothers you. Just be glad there's no smell over the internet. Because it smells like soap and feces. Ruben R., it is so nice to see you. So, have you and Acacia broken up yet? I guess not. I guess she's still right there. I was saying earlier today, I wonder if when Ruben and Acacia come to our party, if they will get here on, this is the party, you see, if they will get here on the 9th or like the 13th. Okay, dream. It's like a dream in here. I'm kind of blurry. Am I real or am I just a dream? You got a new dog on the 21st. You did tell us that your basset died, and we expressed a great deal of sorriness about that. But you got a new dog on the 21st. The 21st isn't yet. Glamour. Would you say that I look more glamorous now that I have the glamour filter on? When you broke it down, Ruben R., did it sound like this? Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. I never get it. Oh, you got it on the 21st of October. Does it walk? I hope so. I was watching When Vacations Attack this morning. 8mm. Now I've got little black spots raining in front of me. You think you're going to get away with this? You aren't going to get away with this. Seems like a sort of line they'd have in an 8mm movie. Or documentary. And it was here, on these rocky shores, the Pelikoth people first established their civilization. Yeah, bassets are so stubborn. I had a basset hound myself, and it's like, you want to talk about a dog you can never walk off leash? Basset hound. They just go with what they smell. I smell something over there. What is it? Oh, good, it's cat shit. Let me roll around in it. My favorite, a good cat shit roll. Sepia. This is just more like black and white to me than sepia. You became a legend on the silver screen. Now the thought of meeting you makes me weak in the knees. This one's called Silver Screen. Honey pie, you were making me crazy. I'm in love, but I'm lazy. So won't you please come home? Honey pie, come back to me. What kind of music? I totally didn't know that I had these options available. If I used this one, people would say, I don't know, that guy looks pretty sketch. Then, late one night, the ghost put on his glasses. I like Silver Screen, but I'm also obviously a fan of Dance Party. Woo, 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 everybody dance tonight. Woo, 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 everybody dance all right. Woo, 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 everybody dance tonight. Woo, 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 everybody dance all right. That's the dance song that's playing in that video. Now I've got bubbles again. I like having bubbles because it makes me look more kawaii, as the Japanese say. And everybody should know that kawaii is a wonderful thing. If, in fact, I'm a train wreck, Taylor, then why are all these beautiful bubbles around me? Can someone answer me that question? I don't think train wrecks are normally associated with bubbles unless the train is carrying soap. A soap tanker truck. Warning, crashing into this vehicle will make you clean. When Vacations Attack is a pretty intense show, let me tell you. You know, I just think I'm more like a slow train that's not really going anyplace rather than a train wreck. That would be a fairer analogy. I'm on the slow train to nowhere. That'd be a fair critique. Being a train wreck would require me to wreck the train at some point. I'm not wrecking the train, you know? His name's Richie. When you go Christmas caroling, will we carry around candles? Yes, but we may get a handheld oil lantern, like the ones that are on the wall. I already have lamp oil. So let's go look at the lamps. Let me turn off the bubble machine for a second. We'll just go with straight up noir, okay? We're playing it cool today. Life is just trains constantly wrecking. What was I going to do when I came inside? Something so incredibly important. Was it pull bong rips? It might have been. Drugging Rachel. You'd have to be a Scientologist to oppose the drugs that Rachel's on. It's like, has anybody ever needed drugs? Like psych drugs? More than somebody who actually has like bipolar mania. He classified bipolar mania in the same category of things like schizophrenia. It's not a disorder. It's a mental illness. It's a big difference. Having been with somebody with both, a mental illness is vastly preferable because it can be put in remission by the right drug combination. Rachel's on a combination of olanzapine, Prozac, and Klonopin, and she needs all three things. It's like the doctor prescribed these as kind of like one at a time. And when the Prozac was added last, finally, it was like a light switch. All of a sudden, Rachel was sane. It's crazy. It wasn't crazy. You know, it was really remarkable to see. You just see it in her eyes. All of a sudden, she was fully sane, and everything about her. And it was the most impressive. It was the most impressive bit of neuropharmacology that I've ever seen. Sorry, Rachel. I don't mean to be talking about your mental illness, which is 100% in remission. But apparently, I received some drama inciting text this morning saying that Taylor last night on his live stream claimed that I'm drugging you. So I was addressing the reality that, number one, I'm not drugging you. You are on some drugs, but that you actually need those drugs. And regardless, that I'm not drugging you. Oh, I didn't see your message. You retracted. Sorry. Well, that's what somebody texted me. This is hearsay. I didn't hear it from Taylor directly. This could be somebody just trying to start shit or whatever. But I mean, he definitely he is trying to start drama or trying to start shit, which I don't necessarily inherently mind. But that's why I'm talking about you and your particular drugs and stuff, is because I'm responding to that accusation that I'm drugging you. He stood up for me when someone tried to slam me. Well, that's great, you know. Like I said, it's hearsay that supposedly Taylor said this. It could have been said on his channel, but not by him. That's certainly possible as well. I'm not. I'm not taking it at face value that Taylor said that, but that's what I'm responding to. So I'd like to make the point that in no way, shape, or form am I drugging Rachel, controlling her. I've been accused of these things before. Like, I was accused one time of like keeping her phone from her. The only time I ask Rachel to put her phone down is during sexual intercourse. I mean, I don't have to ask her to do that. But as a general rule, I would expect her to put her phone down during sexual intercourse. Other than that, I am not trying to control Rachel, take her phone away, tell her who she cannot talk to, anything like that. Flow state. But according to Winston's mom, when someone tried to slam me, Taylor stood up for me. So, you know. Regardless, I'm not one of those people that's got a pad of paper with a list of names of people who talk shit about me. Okay? People talk shit about me sometimes. That's fine. I don't care. I don't like people talking shit about Rachel because Rachel doesn't have the thick armored defenses that I have from my many years of YouTubing. I like Taylor a lot. Taylor's a very good friend of mine, and I don't watch his content because it's like I can't watch him policing a bunch of idiots to try to be less idiotic. It's not that it's not good work to do in some sense. It's good work to police them, but I'm not sure it's good work to give them a forum to speak at all. Let them make their own forum, but I get it that it's kind of entertaining to certain people. Personally, I don't like to watch it, but that's just my taste. I don't like to watch. I mean, I'm not even subscribed with notifications to like anybody except Johnny. So, But I had the most wonderful conversation with my friend Dave Porter yesterday. And he was able to answer the question that I had, which was, what is the band that sang the song Animal Husbandry Don't Happen in the City? The answer is the Hickoids, and the album is called We're in It for the Corn. Dave immediately knew what I was talking about, the band and the album. I was impressed. Yeah. He's still saying just one line of that song. Animal husbandry don't happen in the city. Which it repeats it. Telling lies, tell me sweet little lies, tell me lies. So he asked an interesting question last night in his title, which is telling lies ever okay or something like that? Well, the answer is I don't know if it's exactly ever okay, but I've determined after much thought that Kant is wrong, that you have no moral responsibility to tell the truth, nor any moral responsibility not to lie, except when in terms of direct calls to action. So, for example, let's say you're carrying boxes and you can't see into the street, and I ask you, is it clear for me to cross? And you lie and say, yes, and I step out in front of a truck and am run over. That kind of lie comprises a rights violation because specific action is predicated upon it. But because rights confer a duty onto others, and we don't have a duty to tell the truth to other people, you just can't justify that duty. Then the reality about telling the truth is it's a matter of character, not a matter of morality. People of good character don't lie, and there's a practical, pragmatic reason not to. When you lie and are caught lying, you lose credibility. In other words, we should not lie for irreducible interface knowledge reasons, not for reducible rights calculus reasons. What if they knew you wanted to die? Well, unless you made an explicit agreement with them to trick them at some point, you can't know that adequately to justify lying in that situation. Well, if it's opposite day, Kay, then okay. I had forgotten about opposite day. So, Rachel, I just want to reassure you again, if you're still listening, that I did not start talking about your mental health just because I felt like talking about it. I had something specific I had to respond to. Are you going down the subjective and objective truth route? Remember, truth is neither subjective nor objective. It's a status we assign to a statement when we're attempting to say, you shouldn't disagree with this statement, or I'm seeking agreement without justification. The other thing to remember about truth is the illocutionary or unspoken part that sits behind every statement is a statement that comes before it, which is, I believe it is true that, or I assert that it is true that, and then whatever statement you're making. That's the implication. I believe that, whatever statement you're making. So, when we remember that knowing is a way of paying attention, then the philosophical debates about what comprises knowledge, you hear that old canard that knowledge is justified true belief, which is the most ridiculous definition ever. Knowledge is what an individual experiences as knowing. It's either intuition or memory. When we're trying to establish whether a given piece of information comprises something that we ought to afford the status of knowledge or belief to, well, in that case, we're again entirely missing the boat. So each individual is going to pay attention to that statement or whatever according to their own relationships with knowledge and deliberation. People like me who are critical thinkers, quote unquote, are going to say about certain things, if we're doing it right, we ought not afford agreement to that statement, or in other words, we ought not afford the status of truth to that statement because it's inadequately substantiated, right? And we default to negation. If any claim needs to be substantiated if challenged, and depending on the nature of the claim, there's going to be more or less substantiation required and different kinds of substantiation required in order to attain standing. Once a given claim has been adequately substantiated, then it has standing. You might say it is standing. At that point, we afford it the status of true until and unless a rebuttal to those substantiations is made, at which point we evaluate the clash between the answers and the initial assertions. That's how truth works. Okay? It's not subjective or objective. Like introverted intuition is the objective way of knowing. That doesn't make it more likely to validate objectively by TI users than SI does. SI, TI users will simply dismiss as anecdotal evidence, and NI, TI users will simply dismiss as, well, that's just your gut or your hunch or whatever, right? That's just how action deliberators like me are going to default in their relationship to different forms of knowledge, unless they're the world's foremost expert on cognitive functions, namely me, or somebody who's learned about it from me. Or potentially, very unlikely, but potentially somebody has figured it out independently of me, correctly also, but I've not encountered such a person. I think it's unlikely such a person exists. It makes me happy to know that people on Taylor's channel are talking shit about me. I want someone to watch you play Super Mario World. I don't blame you. Logos can't be on top of you. Okay, okay. Yeah, troublesome. I can tell. I can tell you're a troublesome thorn in a lot of people's sides. Unfortunately, Padawan, your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me. Okay? I'm fucking Yoda. So just get over it. And this is how I like to prove that I'm Yoda. See? I'm just sort of here. No, I'm not Choda. I might be Grundle. What, not glamorous enough, you say? He didn't try. He didn't even bother trying, KE. You know why? He was too cool for that. Okay, I'm not Yoda. All right, you win this lightsaber battle, KE. I didn't see all those new movies. I only saw 4, 5, 6. So, I mean, I saw Phantom Menace as well, but I think that's the only other one I saw. I'm glamorous like people in glamour magazines. Do you guys want me glamorous or do you guys want me 8mm? So, Rachel, just to clarify, are you not mad at me for talking about your mental health because of my reason for talking about it? I'm not on any stimulants either. I just am drinking coffee. Coffee doesn't count as a stimulant. Coffee's just a schmoffy, you know. Okay, M. Okay, good. You know, when people hurl accusations like that at me, I feel compelled to respond. I don't think, probably, you'd agree even that anybody's drugging you. It's like, yes, you're taking prescription drugs from the doctor, but to put it like that is not a very good way to put it. We could type police, Lauren. Right now, I'm kind of playing the waiting game for amphetamines. I think Rachel and I need to go to the store today, though, and get my gabapentin. I've noticed she's almost out of hers, so we should get mine. The gabapentin, I guess you could say, I agree. We should officially call pharmacists drug dealers. Drug dealers who always have the drugs you don't want, but who make it very difficult to get the drugs you do want. They got the whole thing backwards. It's like, why are they stocking all this? Yeah, we get my gabapentin. You get yours when it comes due. We've been playing. Uh, let's just, since we both get the same amount of gabapentin, let's just share our gabapentin, and that's working out fine. Actually, I think it's just because I don't take 2 of those a day. I don't know. I don't think you do either. That's the one thing that we're on that we don't really need to be on, per se. But it's also very mild drug, you know. It doesn't do much. It just makes me be on the silver screen. This one's called Silver Screen. So, you know, life sometimes presents challenges. Let's just admit that. Let's just admit that life presents challenges sometimes. Like the challenge of second morning. First morning, you wake up, you think, well, it's just first morning. I don't really need to get anything accomplished here. I'm sure when I get up second morning, I'll be full of vim and vigor. We're ready to get some chores done. It's going to be nonstop cha-cha-cha. I didn't know it either. I wanted to read what this guy text messaged me. So I went like this on the bottom and it pulled up these filters, and now I can't make them go away anymore. So I still have these. I just shows these options at the bottom. I could be this. This is pretty cool, you know. Life is the challenge. It doesn't present them. Life can't present anything. It can't, I can't read that last word. Use PPT. What's PPT? PowerPoint? Is that what you're saying? Because life can't use PowerPoint, it can't present things. All right, I'll agree with you. I am guilty of a reification fallacy. Life is not an agent, and I shouldn't I shouldn't I shouldn't talk about it as though it were. You know, life's just an animated version of yourself. That's all. Just sitting in a chair, realizing how two-dimensional one really is. Okay, fine. This is how I actually look. I will concede that that was a lie. I don't actually look like that. I look like this. You know, what was that famous music video that they did with that sketch thing? It was, they come in, meow, 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 right? It was that song. Life is the movie we are all cast in. I'm sorry, KE, that you got cast as an extra. I I really I really feel bad for you. You know, you're just an extra in the movie Eric. Occasionally stopping by in the live chat, saying a few witty things, trying to cross swords with me, winning an occasional battle. Yeah, all the supporting cast thinks that, KE. That's one of the clearest signs that they're a member of the supporting cast. No, I haven't watched any Crunchyroll this morning because Wednesday kind of sucks. It's slightly better than Tuesday, but you don't have swords to cross, only knives. All right, well, if you're going to go with knives, then I'm going to go with nunchucks, okay? Can I use nunchucks? Oh, no, Ruben. You are muscling your way into player character status. KE, she's still struggling trying to lift herself above the surface of the lake of non-player characters. She's just a simulated ENTP. You don't believe in modesty? I'm not a big believer in modesty either, KE. You want me to show them that you're a non-player character? Okay. Right here. Got the official documentation. It's written in invisible ink, but it says KE is a non-player character, and it's signed by the president of the Character Evaluation Association. However, even though you're a non-player character, KE, you are allowed to join the IAAA, which is an organization that began yesterday. All of you are already members of it. It is the International Association of Associated Associates. And right now, every time you are associating with me, you don't care to show it, to be honest. I already know I'm the main character in the movie. It's literally the only POV I see. Right? Everybody thinks that. Like one time I said, well, maybe you're a non-player character, Rachel. And she laughed. She just laughed out loud at the notion. Well, obviously I'm not, says everybody. I'm the same way, KE. Maybe I'm the non-player character. Maybe it's me after all this time. Don Kindness says, man, I've been exhausted and just out of sorts for some length of time. Like it feels like I'm low on life force. Constantly feel slightly sick. Random waves of feeling very similar to that gross, clammy, foggy feeling you get with extreme sleep deprivation. KE prescribes some Flowrida for you. Um, I kind of feel where you're at, Don Kynos. I don't feel slightly sick, but I do feel not very motivated and at the same time kind of restless and kind of like boo Eric Boo for being so unproductive. But also I recognize that I'm doing some actual brainstorming stuff right now. Like if I could successfully pull off getting the county board of supervisors to approve my opening the only marijuana store in Mariposa, well, that would be a very good idea. I'm thinking about it. I may do some research on the subject, see what Mariposa County law states about the matter. And, it's like, aren't your Mariposa County supervisor elections going on right now? There could be politicians seeking votes. You could use this. Next thing you know, KE, Shorty got low, 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 low. And that didn't help her back. She was already big titted, so she was having lower back problems to begin with. It stands for TEA. T pain refers to the suffering he experiences when he doesn't get his tea at tea time. Don Kindness knows the answer is Torreson. Torreson pain. I mean, it's a great idea, Winston's mom. I would be not at all surprised if the current Mariposa County statutes say no weed stores in town, because I don't doubt I'm the first person to ever think about it. However, it's also the case that Rachel and I might have a much better opportunity to do that than anybody else because we actually live here. We did not move here with the plan of doing this or anything. It's an organically occurring notion. It's like it's something Mariposa needs. And thanks, iMookster. And additionally, it's like we could structure it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mariposa County bans retail commercial cannabis activities in all zoning districts in all the county's unincorporated territory. No, you can't go unincorporated. That's the point. It bans it in the county as a whole. Well, I'm sure Madera County has a similar ban in place because there's no weed store in Oakhurst either. There is a weed store in Merced, but I don't I don't want to set up a weed store in Merced, you know. The point is, it's already banned in Mariposa, so what are you going to do? You know, there goes that notion. The thing is, if you could somehow get Mariposa to make an exception for you, there's a gold mine to be had there. You've got all these tourists coming in to Mariposa to go to Yosemite, and they passed the last weed store at the Indian reservation. You think I should outgrow my weed era? Well, you know, that's against regulations. I, this notion of opening a weed store or whatever had nothing to do with weed, really. It's I'm trying to think about how to um, how to manage my long-term financial well-being, and I want to make decisions of what to do with capital while I still have a large amount of it. I need to do a lot of number crunching and stuff, But I believe that there has to be a good, very reliable way to ensure our long-term financial well-being. Currently, we're heavily invested in the stock market, and that's great, but the passive income stream from that is, I don't think, I'm not sure. I haven't done the number crunching, but it's not adequate probably. And I don't really want to plan to run out of money, you know. Like that's one kind of planning. Well, let's plan annuity style, like make sure I have this much amount. I just much rather have a positive cash flow. So I'm having to do a lot of thinking about stuff like that. It's kind of kind of a complicated question. You know, I've had thoughts ranging from the totally speculative, like, I've had this notion of, well, if we could rent a small space, yeah, we don't have any localities in Mariposa County, Winston's mom. That's how it stays so cool. It's just county. There's no municipalities. Rusmus asks, "Hey Eric, how would you deal with the situation if your wife would be snoring pretty loud when she sleeps and it's not consistent enough to get no sleep when it happens?" Sleep in separate beds. That's the solution to that. It's not a problem for me and Rachel, really. Like every once in a while, maybe if one of us has a cold or something, maybe we'll snore. But I have been with somebody who snored terribly, and we had to sleep in separate rooms. I love snoring people, makes me relax. You wouldn't have loved my ex-wife's snoring. It was enough to shake the walls of the house. We had to keep changing houses. I did used to live in Southern California. I lived in Southern California for basically my whole life. I lived in Temple City for 20 years where I had a daughter, raised her, saw her through high school, then moved to Laverne for a while. Moved back to Arcadia to my parents' house for a bit. Then both my parents died. And now I live here in this wonderful place. It's a lot better than any place I've lived before. And it's like everywhere accessible. That's the crazy thing about this place. If you ask me, well, how far away are you from the answer is like 3 hours. It's always 3 hours. We're 3 hours from San Luis Obispo. We're 3 hours from Salinas, 3 hours from San Jose, 3 hours from Oakland, 3 hours from Sacramento. During the late summer months, when the Tioga Pass is open, we're 3 hours from Mammoth. So we're really smack in the middle of California. We're 5 hours from LA. Basically 3 hours from Bakersfield. One of the treatment centers you went to, they gave earplugs for snow roommates. Earplugs help. Yeah, just get earplugs. Earplugs will help, Grismus. But if it bugs you, you're not going to be able to put up with it for a super long time before you snap about it, you know? KE, that's what Rachel does. Rachel listens to a lot of tarot reading while she sleeps. But that's even when she's alone in her room. Also, Grismus, the other thing is, Rachel and I don't usually sleep together all night because we sleep more comfortably in separate beds. But we almost always start the night together in bed, and then she'll move upstairs once I fall asleep. And it's just an FE thing. You know, I've got FE third, she's got FE tool. She's hyper aware of how her self, while asleep, might be impacting me. So I think that that's why she goes upstairs. Personally, I can't sleep with any kind of talking going on in the background. I cannot stop paying attention to the words. But I could sleep potentially with like instrumental music in the background. But I don't. I just like it quiet and dark. And then I sleep better when Rachel's not in the bed because Trouble is in the bed too. And Trouble is like a third human being. He's so huge. And of course, he lies across the bed in ways that are just very inconvenient, make it very difficult to sleep with him. So Rachel does gets the better end of this deal in some sense because she goes upstairs and gets to sleep by herself, and I am left wrestling with trouble all night. But I can't say no to my kitty. Sometimes I'll like lift him up with my feet. I'll put my feet underneath him under the covers, lift him up, and flip him over so he'll get out of the way. Cinnabar is a purity marker. I don't know what cinnabar is. Crush. Does this make you feel like I'm your crush? Glow. Slate. Noir. Dawn. This is the beautiful light of dawn. My name is Beige Dawn. I'm just dancing. Eat. Sleep. Rave. Repeat. I'm just eating. I'm just sleeping. I'm just raving. I'm repeating. Does it make me want to make me put on a rave beat in the background? Let me see if I can find a rave beat for you. I could beatbox one maybe. Boom. Boom. There's the kick drum. It just sounds like a bass. Okay, here we go. We're going to put on a rave beat to make this dance party really poppin', okay? Cause everyone loves raving all the time. Google Shugongsha. You Google Shugongska. Googler. All right, let's go to the demos. Why don't I hear anything? That demo is horrible. Let's try this one. Oh, yeah. Not bad. It shows you like how to use this application. Okay. That's enough of that. Now we're gonna go just a regular dream. It's after the rave. You're still tripping a little bit. Okay. Sinister vibes. I once had a dream about fighting multiple clones that moved in sudden bursts, then froze. Started with one and then multiplied after I stabbed the first one in the back because it gave sinister vibes. Well, it's because that's an inadequate reason to stab something in the back, Don Kindness. You need better reason or better justification than just sinister vibes. Otherwise, you'll end up stabbing everybody who plays that demo. Because that demo has sinister vibes. Bing, 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 bing. What has the day in store today? I haven't been up a super long time, but I'm already feeling kind of like burnout, you know. I do know we need to go to town and get gabapentin. So we'll do that at some point. Um, it's a pretty great day, but purportedly it's going to start to rain later on today. Like at 6 o'clock, a little bit. You want potato? Rain starting in about 1 hour, it says. Heavy rain is expected in the daytime hours. Heavy rain is expected at night. Well, that's good. Excellent. Looks like we're going to get some rain. Starting in a little while. Starting at 1:30. From 1:30 through 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to get rain. According to this. Although the percentages say 58%, 45%, 65%, 47%. That's not that convincing a percentage, you know. I'm not that sold on the fact that we're really going to get some rain. This is just regular. Are you bored by regular now? Now that I've spoiled you with all these filters, do you find regular just too boring to watch? Yeah, Don Kindness, you got to get high on your own supply. That's what I'm going to do right now. I mean, the thing is, Mariposa could probably support another restaurant, you know, depending on the kind of restaurant. But uh but I'm not a restaurateur. I had the idea one time, I had it for a long time actually, of getting a very small storefront, opening a talking with famous people office. And when tourists come through, they can come in and tell their stories. I interview them and it would go on the internet. But I don't know how many people actually want that to happen, you know? And it would, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, KE. Uh, um, that probably wouldn't even pay for itself, you know? Assuming that people are able to do it for free, and I just make money off of the videos. Become a landlord that hands off business if you got a lot of capital. Well, I mean, I've thought about that as well. Um, you know, it's like to really. No, it's not something. It's not just something to keep myself busy. I'm trying to focus on, um, I guess, how to do better than the stock market. You know, with an awareness that I'm going to have to remove. I'm going to have to capitalize some money that's going to incur some tax penalties in the capitalization process to liquidize. Certain things need to have taxes paid on them, capital gains or whatever, and various other things. So I'm just trying to think in terms of what's the best course of action. It's complicated, It's a very complicated question. I've got I've got one very concrete idea that's very plausible, which is there's a small lot, probably half an acre, down here for sale that's just an empty lot. And concurrently, I'm watching these people put up these two very small houses at the end of Heights Cove here. And naturally, I'm thinking we could buy that lot, put a small home up on it, and sell the thing. Be like a real estate developer. I'm not sure when you crunch all the numbers if that's worth doing. I mean, the thing is, yeah, you could build it, lease it, and then still sell it. Like you lease it for a while and then sell it. But my inclination is to sell a brand new home on Heights Cove. It cost me, say, 200 put into it, get, say, 320 out of it or something, you know? That would be worthwhile. I'm not sure how much it costs to build one of those little houses. I haven't even looked up to see how much that lot is. Well, what I'm talking about doing isn't exactly a business, right? It's taking land, which tends to be underpriced, and converting it to um, property with a home on it, which tends to have value sufficiently. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to look that up and stuff. I right now, like I said, I'm I'm taking advantage of the fact that I have plenty of time to make a decision, right? I'm thinking about different options and considering stuff, but I know that okay, well, yes, real estate development is a way to make money, but it's not an operating business in the sense that you don't need a business license to do it. You need a building permit. That's different, right? So it's not a business, it's a deal you're putting together. You're basically capitalizing in a way that makes you more money than you put into it. Just get involved in farming. Oh, yeah. I'd be really good at that. I'm a born farmer. Oh, broccoli, Todd. I'm not going to get involved in farming. No, Tom Kindness. Look, I'm not looking for a job, okay? I'm looking to avoid getting a job long term. So the thing is, and I'm not even sure until after January when my daughter and I sit down and really go over all the details of finances. I'm not 100% sure that we're going to have to do anything different than what we're currently doing. So we'll have to crunch the numbers and find out. I'm not sure what the passive income right now is. Regardless, hi, Fly Guy. Welcome to Talking with Finance People. All these wonderful pieces of advice. I invited this by talking about the subject, I know, but I tend to just talk about what's on my mind. What's on my mind right now is a bunch of possible ideas and an awareness that whatever we decide to do is going to be a big decision. And obviously, I'm putting the cart a little before the horse by thinking about all this stuff before our financial meeting in January. But what can you do? You're a human being. Sometimes you think about things. Prostitution, it is. Well, KE, I'm not looking to do something that is dear to me, right? I'm looking to put together some sort of financial deal that profits me. I'm not looking to do something cool. I'm not looking to do something fun. I'm looking for a smart way to make money in a kind of a dealish fashion. Um, you know, that's my number one notion. Or like I have another notion, which is it's probably a good idea. I haven't checked the price on it recently, but it's probably a good idea to invest in silver. Silver has remained a pretty constant for decades, and it seems to me like that's a possible thing that could go up. Right, but KE, our current portfolio is invested very conservatively. So it's a matter of I don't want to rock a boat that's sailing along just fine, right? Unless it's sailing at insufficient speed that we're going to end up dead in the water projecting forward from our current cost of living, etc. We got to look at a number of options. How much in the status quo would we need to lower our cost of living to sustain on passive income, if any? I'm not 100% sure. Um, and then how doable is that? And then, of course, do we want to take that course of action with the boat, right? Do we want to make sure the boat sails for a long enough time that by the time we get to the end of our lives, it's completely out of gas, but we're fine still. We had enough gas to make it to the end of our lives. Or do we want to try to meaningfully grow the wealth at a rate that outpaces our expenditures if we can, so that even at the end of our lives, that boat still has plenty of gas. It's even a bigger boat and it's got better gas, and that's ideal, right? Because it's not just me and Rachel to think of, it's my daughter as well.
Are you hungry?
I could eat
What would you like?
uh, sweet and sour chicken.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, there's real scarcity with silver, like there is with gold. It's just that silver is a lot more common than gold, right? However, when you're talking about a resource for which there's real scarcity and it has implicit value, like silver is like a noble metal. It has antibacterial properties, lots of good things about silver. So, if anyone hasn't seen the techno marching band, you're missing out. I will Google that. I will Google that. So, given the fact that silver is still used in gluten-free toothpicks, you think I should go in the gluten-free toothpick business? Not a bad idea. Yeah, that's how we make our sweet and sour chicken. First, Rachel goes outside and slaughters a chicken. Then she plucks all the feathers off of it. Then she like burns the pin feathers away. Gluten-free toothpicks. I like the idea of gluten-free toothpicks. I am hopeful that it starts to rain while I'm still live streaming. Because then we can go look at the rain together. That'd be fun, huh? Everybody loves looking at rain. Only some people love making it rain in the club, though. Ruben R., he's always making it rain in the club. The problem is, he just brings in a bag of gravel, makes it rain gravel in the club. If it rains men, hallelujah, of course. If it rains men, then that's when we switch to this. Okay? Yeah. I read your mind. First, I read your sentence there as a command, but then I realized, no, it's not. It's an observation. That's your money solution. Get a freezer and farm rained men organs for profit. I like it. You just have to wait for it to rain men now. I should put something like that's kind of soft on the ground so they don't just splat, right? But they still die, but their organs are fine. An organ preserving landing spot on the ground for when it rains men. Well, that's only if the freezer door is closed, Carrot. With the freezer door open, his supply of organs is well lit. This is what it looks like in his organ warehouse. It looks like a dance party. Okay, fine, enough dance party. Now we're gonna have bubbles. Now it's like you're taking a bath. You prefer pianos to organs? When the doctor said I needed an organ transplant, I said, "Can we do piano instead?" I like the ice cream truck. Carrot, you live a good reality. You know what's important. You like the ice cream truck? And there's probably a pretty good reason for that. The ice cream truck sells ice cream. It drives around. A second ago, you had no opportunity to have ice cream. Now, all of a sudden, you could get ice cream. No, they got sucked up in a twister into the clouds, and then they sit there for a while, and the next time it rains, they come down. That's how it rains men. Ice Cream Man is low key a superhero. Well, I don't want to be an ice cream man. If I wanted a little job of some sort, a little while ago, Bootjack was hiring. But they said I couldn't work with all these bubbles around me all the time. So I'm like, never mind then. If you can't accept me as I am with my bubbles, then I don't need you. Well, leaky, lucky, lulu. It's Hawaii and the bubbles are floating. Leaky, lucky, lulu. And the sweet and sour chicken is a boating. It's a Hawaiian song I call Leaky, lucky, lucky, lulu. Which is Hawaiian for, hey, sweet and sour chicken. I love the leaky lulu with just a dab of poi on top. Akimaki shmaki laki naki naki tutu is Japanese / Hawaiian for I think I'll have an iced tea. Okay, here we go. Atakimasu. I take your suggestion. Is your suggestion prostitution? I'm going to pass on that. I don't want to be a prostitute, I don't think. I'd rather work at the bootjack market. That is a possibility. You know, that wouldn't be a terrible job. But right now, I'm in what I would call a 2 month musing period. If you were to call today the beginning of it, which would be inaccurate, but if you were to call it the beginning, it'd be the beginning of a 2 month musing period before I have a financial meeting. In the meantime, I'm tasked with the important job of eating sweet and sour chicken. I've asked these bubbles to assist. I think they're doing a great job. But I think I'm going to go instead with glamour. Glamour is the most couture of all the filters. That's why it's the most glamorous. My typing session with the ENTP ISFP Asian couple was very entertaining. I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's okay. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was absolutely delightful. Not unlike this delicious sweet and sour chicken. I bet you Aquafina is an ENTP. Oh, it's okay, New Groove. I don't remember stuff that very well. Too many of them. Like, I remember stuff I watch better than stuff I make, probably. There. I have fed myself. I'm not Asian right now, but because it was Sunday, I was Chinese. So, ni hao. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey's an ENTP. He's from China. He's an American. He just happens to be, his parents are from China. He knows how to speak Chinese. He knows how to say ni hao. He can say things like that. He's talented like that. He's a wonderful young man. I think very highly of him, and I applaud his efforts in life. Good job, Jeffrey. Way to be a good ENTP. You brought up somebody who warms my heart, What a wonderful young man. And I'm fond of the Chawa, Chloe, Hui. They're all wonderful people. I felt bad that I got an argument with Jeffrey's mom this one time. But we've been fine recently. Took a while to recover from that. Would you like to see, perhaps, a squirrel? Not just any regular squirrel shot. We're going to zoom in. Okay. And then we're going to let you see the squirrel eating his cutlets at a rave. Whoop, 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 whoop. Boo. Boo. Hello, Normie. Is that you? Or is that a different squirrel? That's bigger than Normie. It's a full grown squirrel. Don't run away. Oh no. Keep raving, buddy. Where'd you go? Oh, well. There's a blue jay. You want to start raving instead? Come on down. Come on down to the cutlet party. What if we held a cutlet rave and nobody showed up? That's what we got going on right now. We're holding a cutlet rave, but nobody's showing up. I guess we didn't get a good enough DJ. All right, clouds, start raining now. I'm ready for you to start raining. Until then, I feel like I'm stuck in a dream. Dream. I cannot figure out how to make these filters go away. It's like pushing that doesn't make them go away. I don't know. So I just keep choosing between them because they keep being in front of my face. Oh, here we go. We've got another visitor at the cutlet party. Oh, he went away again already. Just as soon as I try to film him. Well, I bet if we're patient, we'll get some more cutletters come along and take advantage of this free cutlet offer. A limited time offer only. Yes, come on down. Yes, you can. It's perfectly safe to eat these cutlets. They're delicious. You're going to love them. I hand selected these cutlets just for you. Yes, you're a good cutlet lover. In black and white. This is like a commercial for depression. For a squirrel depression medicine, right? Sometimes I just don't even feel like eating any cutlets. Well, now, thanks to Cutlify, you're back in living color. In fact, it feels better than that. It feels like there's bubbles around you all the time. Thanks to Cutlify, I'm back to being my old self, surrounded by bubbles and dance parties. Weep, weep. Look, this dance party's so crazy that you've got this blue jay here who's clearly coming on to a squirrel. In an instance of interspecies miscegenation or whatever it is. Oh, blue jay's in his ass. What? Yeah. Squawk, squawk. Squawk, squawk. Squawk, squawk. There. Now it's all just a dream. Glamour. There's a glamorous looking squirrel for you. This filter is maximally designed to make your makeup really pop. So you can see how the squirrel's eyeliner really shows up. You can really see the black of the eyes. Because squirrels use a lot of white eyeliner around their eyeball. And that's where they get that great contrast from. In contrast, the blue jay dressed once again like a bruise in black and blue. Doesn't even bother to put on any makeup before leaving the house. That's why we spend so much more time focusing on the beautiful squirrel. There's a couple of jays and a squirrel today's. They're working together towards a common goal. We could learn so much from squirrels and blue jays. You see how they cooperate instead of competing against each other? How the squirrel's like, here, have one of my cutlets. And the blue jay's like, no, you have one of my cutlets. Do you see? This is how nature is. Nature is not capitalism, okay? Nature is squirrels giving cutlets to blue jays for no reason. Just because squirrels are so kind. Squirrels are known as one of the kindest of all the rodents. They've been known, they have the biggest record of charitable giving. Although most of it is to the organization Squirrel Power, which is well, it's an organization devoted towards squirrel primacy, you know, claiming that squirrels are the master race. But if they were really the master race, would they eat so many cutlets? Good question. I don't have an answer to that any more than anyone else does. That's the sort of question that's baffled humanity for all of humanity's existence. Will we ever have an answer? Nine. Fiend. Well, it's still not raining, but I wish it were raining. Then I'd have something more entertaining to show you than a squirrel. And I've explained to this squirrel before. Listen, buddy, I'm sorry. I am looking for a squirrel to film. But you just don't have it, you know? There's no there's no presence. There's no life on the screen when I film you. It's like you're not emoting enough. You look more emotionally real as a sketch than you do as a squirrel. I'm sorry, I don't know who cast you for this part, but it wasn't me. Can we get another squirrel in here? What do you mean you can't just exchange squirrels like they're whatever? Watch me. I'm the director of this film. Cut, cut, cut. Get me squirrel number 2, please. I don't know. I can't get anything out of this squirrel besides just the same expression. Like, I'm eating cutlets right now. Okay, give me more than that. I want to see this squirrel crying. The joy of eating these cutlets is so powerful that he's crying. I don't even see a single tear. Oh, wait. He is crying. Wow, I'm impressed, squirrel. You so want the part that even though you can't cry on command, you made it rain. That's impressive. That's an impressive squirrel right there. Unable to cry, but desperate to retain his role in today's episode of the Squirrel Chronicles. that squirrel made it start to rain. So, okay, you can keep the part. Funny thing is, of course, then he immediately ran away. Like, he exhausted, he was so stressed out. You could tell the director wasn't happy with his performance. But that's how I achieve the best from my actors. I put them under an immense amount of pressure at all times. Oh, it stopped raining now. You could rain for longer than that. Is that 5 seconds? That's not enough rain. No, I did try to play it. I wasn't just being nice. I did try to play it. But the thing is, I didn't purchase it before trying to get Steam installed, right? I couldn't get Steam installed. And I gave up. So I just got stuck at the captcha, you know? You can't captchas are designed to catch you. That's why they're called captchas. And it successfully caught me. Now you might say, Eric, if you can't even successfully get past the captcha, what makes you think you'll be able to play this game well? Well, I don't have any particular reason to think that, but I'd like to try to play it anyway. Because I like Swords and Dragons stuff. I played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. Well, I guess I'm a robot then. I don't know. The CAPTCHA is it's like take away all the things that show a picture of a bus. Okay, well, how do you define bus? You know? How do you define bus? How do you define bicycle? Is just this little tassel from the handlebar that's in this one picture, is that part of the bicycle? Does that count as a picture of a bicycle? I could try that. I could try having Rachel do the capture for me. Like at least 5 times. I could not get past it. I tried it in like restarting my old account. I tried starting a new account. I just couldn't do it. I don't have the internet to stream that installation. For me to stream that way would require me to stream off the laptop using OBS. And the internet's not really good enough to handle that additional data requirement. Well, what my daughter suggested is what I will probably do at some point when I feel like doing this again. Maybe today, who knows? Which is uninstall Steam and reinstall it. That seems like a good suggestion to me, you know? Does this string make me look extra coquettish? I'm hiding behind a string. Mm. Mm. Well, good for you, KE. What are you trying to do? Rub it in my face that I'm bad at captures? God. How mean could you be, K.E.? You know, I'm very sensitive about my capture capacities. I keep failing every form of Turing test. Even the tiniest amount of bike park counts. Okay, well, that's good to know. But it doesn't even say that anywhere, right? Like, how are you supposed to just know that that's how that thing works? And without it ever explaining it to you. I consider the possibility that maybe I am a robot. But even if I'm a robot, my position is I should be allowed to play Baldur's Gate. You know, even if I am a robot. So, if I can't pass the captcha because I'm a robot, then I don't know why they're discriminating against robots like me so much. I'm willing to pay the money for the game. So why shouldn't I be able to play it? Even if I am a robot. I probably am because when I'm failing the captcha every time, I hear this sound coming out of my mouth. It does not compute. So I guess probably I am a robot. Not a bicycle. Well, we're having a wonderful time together today going to the restroom. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to start by going pee, and I may hopefully work my way up to going poo. Yeah, sure, I've already pooed today, but I can tell. I've got a lot more poo in me. You know, I bet via the live streams, I've shared my pooing experience with more people than just about anybody, you know? You and I have had a lot of poops together. That means we're pretty close. Rachel will come sit with me when I poop sometimes, and trouble. Other than that, you live streamers are the only people who get to enjoy this experience. Although, this time, unfortunately for you, seems I'll only be going pee. Whatever poop I have in me is not yet ready to come out. So just like me, you're going to have to wait for the satisfaction of that poop. Right now, I'm getting all of the droplets off before I stand up, pull my pants up. Trying to get all of the droplets into the toilet and not into my bun huggers. Okay, there we go. I've peed. I've shaken free as many droplets as I could. Now I've got my modesty pants pulled back up, my bun huggers pulled back up, not in that order. And There goes the telltale sign of a toilet flushing. And the always necessary follow-up activity of, oh, not today, I guess. I thought I was going to have to watch the cat eat. Fortunately, no. Oh, good. Thank you, Rachel. Did you watch him eat?
Yep.
Good. We should keep a log. You didn't consent through this? Well, you know, the good news is the camera was turned the other direction, so you couldn't see anything. It's called the door of your eyes. I made your eyes respect the door by pointing you down the hall. That way you couldn't see what I'm doing. In fact, for all you know, that was all just a big lie. I didn't even go to the bathroom.
Look at your Peter looking at trouble.
Jeez. Going back to sleep now. This trouble moved away. So, KE, it's time for you to just admit that pooping time with Eric was possibly the greatest experience of your life.
How could it not be?
Yeah.
It's like the full experience.
Yeah. Someday you'll be able to tell your great grandkids about the time you were there when Eric pooped. Nobody ever says that, you know. Someday you'll be able to tell your great grandkids. I wonder why not.
Maybe because, like, they're not alive.
Maybe. Maybe that's why. Because the greatest poop I ever witnessed is my own poop, says K. Well, if it were really great, KE, I'm guessing you'd live stream it. You know, if you were really proud of your poop, you'd live stream it.
Oh, calling it out.
And if you're worried about it not being very sanitary, obviously, you just apply soap bubbles. Yeah, right. Too lazy. It's just because you know that hanging out with you while you poop would not be nearly as ontologically, philosophically, spiritually, emotionally rewarding as it was hanging out with me. I didn't poop, KE, as I told you. We sat down with the idea that we might poop, but we didn't actually poop. That's either you or me. So, no, I didn't wash my hands. I didn't even get any pee on my hands. Yeah, of course. Don't you see the bubbles? Of course I washed my hands. No, I didn't wash my hands because, guess what? I sterilize my penis 8 times a day with rubbing alcohol. So it's extremely clean. It's the cleanest part of my body.
I'm so impressed. How about your penis? Is it, like, kind of raw at all?
No, I just sterilize it with rubbing alcohol.
It doesn't dry it out?
Yeah, it does. That's why I apply Eric's patented penis moistening cream.
Penis moistening cream.
Ruben washes his hands before he goes to the bathroom, Smart, Ruben. That way you keep your penis clean.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands are definitely dirtier than your penis. I never pick up anything with my penis. I never open any doorknobs with it. Nothing like
I
that.
mean, that is surprising that you don't.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Has your penis liked being in bun huggers?
Yeah, you know, it's comfortable. You guys sometimes you gotta move it around a little bit so that it's in a good spot.
I could see it being cozy though.
But yeah, it's pretty cozy. With my butthole, have I ever tried to pick up something with my butt?
His two butt cheeks.
No, I never have tried to pick up anything with my butt cheeks. Now I want to.
Isn't that like a party game? Like sitting on like a ball and like trying to put it in between your butt cheeks?
I don't know what kind of party you've been to.
I don't know why I think that's a thing.
But I've never played that party game. Pick up this ball with your butt cheeks. But yes, I'm sure if called upon to do so, I could pick up a fully inflated beach ball with my butt cheeks. That's how strong my butt cheeks are. I can butt cheek palm a beach ball. I could pick up Rachel with my butt cheeks. I could pick her up with my butt cheeks. Like, let's say I grab her basically like on her lower back with my butt cheeks. And then I'd lift my butt high up in the air and she'd be upside down like this, riding along as I walked on all fours.
That sounds really fun.
Holding her with my butt cheeks. Could I pick up Trouble and Rachel? No, I don't think I could pick up Trouble because I think he'd scratch me too much.
You would scratch.
That's how I picked her up in the first place.
I didn't realize that it's like not all cats when they swipe don't swipe with their claws out. Like I'm so like used to Trouble just like swiping with claws out that I just figured it was normal.
Well, Capilla doesn't swipe at all.
No, she doesn't swipe at all.
She's a very good kitty.
She is. It was psychedelic. That's your aura.
This is called Dream, Rachel.
Oh.
Because it's like a dream.
I feel like I'm in a dream right now.
Oh.
Oh. You sound like ghosts.
Yeah, well, ghosts dream a lot.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. All right, fine. We'll go no filter. There you go. Just regular old Eric again. It's 1:07. Rachel and I do need to go to town. Maybe we should.
Gabapentin?
Yeah, we should get the gabapentin.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do need a bottle of it.
Yeah.
So I won't get mine till my other stuff runs out.
Well, just yours comes due on the 27th. Get it then.
Okay.
It is currently November 15th.
Oh my god.
NASA investigating flash over Minnesota that made sonic boom. What's that all about? Minnesota residents across a 50-mile radius reported seeing a bright flash and thunderous sonic boom in the sky over Beltrami County Monday night, and now a NASA astronomer and local astrophysics professor are on the case. The American Space Agency analyzed footage from an airport that captured a horizontal object streak across the sky when the boom rattled windows and shook homes. A meteorites specialist believes the object was the size of a refrigerator and hit the atmosphere between 30,000 and 130,000 miles an hour. But Beltrami County Emergency Management revealed that the sonic boom was too close to the ground to be a meteor, at least not ones that don't cause regional devastation. The timing of the boom suggests the object was at least no ordinary meteor. I still don't know what it was, Professor Cabanella shared in the email, but I was fairly confident it couldn't be a meteor. Aside from the local witnesses to the bright flash and the thunderous booms, 3 videos were obtained by Chris Muller, director of Beltrami County Emergency Management. The first was a security video from a private residence in Nymore, south of Lake Bemidji. Mueller told DailyMail.com the video clearly shows a very bright white blue flash over the sky, followed by the thunderous boom 3 seconds later. The second video, which came from the airport, shows what appears to be a blindingly fast white streak zoom past the airport. This video was provided to an astronomer and a scientist from NASA, said Mueller. They analyzed the video frame by frame and determined the object is too horizontal to indicate that it was a meteor. It is undetermined if the 2 videos are related. Of course they are. Huh. The timing of the apparent flight path seen at the Bemidji Regional Airport compared to the security footage in Nymore was still another time the event was likely not a meteor on a consistent trajectory and acceleration. While that does not rule out the controlled movers of a craft, the Beltrami County Emergency Management is not investigating the incident as a flying saucer case. If it was anything that would have been airborne, it should have been picked up by radars. We did check with the National Weather Service. They didn't have anything on the radar. They also did not have any lightning detected. So we're actually leaning towards this was something that was on or near the ground. Well, that's interesting, huh? It's Scorpio season and my hot co-worker's birthday. Wow. I think you know what present you should give him for his birthday, Katie. A coffee cup that says, great co-worker. Hi, darling.
Hi, handsome.
Are you ready to go to town?
Yeah. I just need you, what are you, owner of my feet now?
Owner of my Rachel's feet.
Yeah. Trouble on my feet. Meow. Oh, yes.
All right, well, let's pull a couple bowls, then we'll wrap up this stream and we'll go to town and get this thing done.
What are you saying again?
We gotta get gabapentin.
Oh, yeah.
Because you only have one left because I took one of your last 2 this morning. might I recommend y'all check out Cake's cover of Kenny Rogers' Ruby Don't Take Your Love to Town? Okay, we'll check it out. Oh, I see, KE. Well, that's why I recommended the gift I recommended. A coffee cup that says "Great Coworker."
Oh, that's a good one. How clever. I like that.
Everybody loves a coffee cup.
Yeah, and everyone like always thinks about great boss, but they don't think about great coworker.
Yeah.
So that'd be extra special.
Right? Maybe you just think of him as being hot in the sense that he's hot at his job. Like he's a real go-getter. Yeah.
It looks like it's supposed to rain today.
It rained a little bit.
It did?
Look at Bitcoin again. Up 7%.
Wow, you called it.
Yeah. The thing is, what's important to remember is that when David Lee Roth sang "Hot for Teacher," it was totally age appropriate. He was in his 30s. It was perfectly reasonable for him to be pursuing a school teacher as a mate. Just think about that. KE likes blue on Rachel because it suits your skin tone.
Thanks, KE.
Plus we sort of match. I got a darker blue than you. Got a darker blue, but
I was thinking about wearing socks with my
go put them on, girl.
suit.
You do your thing.
All right.
Don't let me drug you and force you to not wear socks.
Where did the drug part come in?
That's what I was accused of by somebody, of drugging you.
Oh, yeah. First of all, what makes people think that I'm drugged? Like, sure, I take drugs. Some prescribed, some not.
Whoever said it, I suspect, is anti-pharma, right? And doesn't believe in those kinds of drugs or think that people should be on them, that there's some sort of natural solution, that you should be...
I know. I used to be one of those people thinking that, like, natural drugs, like natural medications would help my bipolar, but the truth is that, like, I'm chemically imbalanced and I need certain chemicals.
You smoked as much pot as you could and it didn't fix the problem.
No, it didn't.
So if that doesn't work, then there's not any other natural medicine that's going to work. That's the most natural of the natural medicines.
Ruben R., I'd say your skin tone is like cafe. They call it au lait cafe.
Cafe au lait?
Cafe au lait, yeah.
That's coffee with milk.
Yeah.
Your skin is like a beautiful cafe au lait. Now, I want to let everybody know about this shampoo that I didn't realize just how much it had going on until I really read the label in the shower yesterday. Okay, so the shampoo is called VO5. Let me just tell you some of the things it does. First of all, it's called Ocean Refresh. It revitalizes, it refreshes, it renews. Okay? It's got 5 different oils in it and 5 different vitamins. And most of all, it has inside of it sea minerals. Sea minerals. As from the ocean. Do you as well wonder which sea minerals it has? It's got 5 vitamins, even though I'm pretty sure my hair doesn't need any vitamins. Even if my, even, no, not semen rolls, sea minerals. The shampoo does not have sea minerals in it, but it does have sea minerals in it. I wonder if they got the sea minerals from the sea, or if they're just minerals that also occur in the sea. Like, oh, this shampoo has a little bit of iron in it. Well, let's just call it sea minerals. Magnesium and potassium contribute to healthy and strong hair growth. Even if that's true, there's no way that putting magnesium and potassium on your head is going to get your hair to get more potassium and magnesium in it. You have to take the vitamins in some kind of bioavailable form. You can't just put it in shampoo and say, "There, now my hair has more vitamins and minerals on it." Well, thanks, VO5, Winston's mom. Thanks for being VO5's devil's advocate. My claim is that their whole sea minerals shit is bullshit. It has salt in it? Is that what they're saying? Oh, good. There's salt in my shampoo.
VO5 is like pretty cheap shampoo too.
Well, I guess the more expensive shampoo must have 10 vitamins and 10 minerals in it.
Wow.
Yeah. 10 oils. That's the only way it could be better than VO5. Okay, so another thing we need to get when we go to the store, Rachel, is deodorant for me.
Okay.
We need to get gabapentin, deodorant, and I might try another bottle of shampoo.
Yeah, you could use it.
I think I'm going to look around for a shampoo that makes even more wild claims than VO5.
Oh, I'm excited.
And I'm thinking, why stop at 6, We could have 1,000 different oils in it.
Pantene Pro B might have 1,000 different oils.
Well, I'm going to look at the front of it with my glasses on. I'm going to see which shampoo makes the wildest claims. Now, Rachel, if we hurry, we might, at long last, arrive before school lets out.
Okay.
Trying to go to the store.
Going.
Going to the store right as school lets out. Oh, I just don't want to be in a supermarket with a bunch of high schoolers running around and whispering in each other's ears, and
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
Oh God, it brings back that trauma of being a school teacher.
I'm just gonna put my clothes in the dryer.
You put your clothes in the dryer, then we'll put ourselves in the car. So, unfortunately, Rachel and I have a bad habit of going into town right as school lets out, and we keep running into other teenagers. We should be able to beat the teenagers today. Get there at 2 o'clock. School should still be in session. Then the supermarket will be nice and empty, and you can take your time walking around. There won't be a madhouse of sweaty teenagers. All right, so that'll do it for today, and I might be back later with more live stream excitement. Until then, goodbye, good night, and good luck.